Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. If you believe the affirmation masters that say that life is interactive and whatever we give our attention to becomes the point of attraction that we draw into our life, nothing is more unpleasant to a person attempting to do this than to not be where you want to be and to have somebody tell you, oh, you're the creator of your own reality, so why did you create that? Well, we're not perfect. We're not perfect, but we have to learn more and more. You go to the buffet of life, you don't have to take everything. You don't eat everything. The stuff you don't want that doesn't taste good, you don't choose it. You don't put it on your plate. Nonetheless, we all want to learn the importance of doing, of acting, of being in the world. So that means you have to learn to think the thoughts that serve you, reach for the best thoughts. There are a myriad of things you can do to make you feel good. Do everything to the best of your ability, bring consciousness to everything, and see if that doesn't summon, through the power of your own choosing, more well-being, clarity, and abundance. Nonetheless, self-inventory. Where do we lie to ourselves and tell us why we can't practice more yoga, why we can't be more involved, why we put more time serving the man in Babylon, Mammon, Maya, call it whatever you want, the illusion that life spins, the way the culture wants to fatten you up to be a cannibal, to spend. So I'm not interested in people who talk about why they can't get results. I look at the people who do get results and I see what is it about their life that I can mimic, that I can learn. If you've had any kind of ritual initiation, it takes you down a peg, but through the fire of experience, it holds your feet to the fire and it makes you a responsible human being. You realize you're the one who's in charge of how you're going to direct your life. And so that means you find a disciplined path. And here by discipline, I don't mean rote learning, memory learning, repetitious learning, dulling yourself down. I mean the love of any field. That's what disciplina means. So if you do that, you find your own path, your svadharma, your marga, your way through life, and then you domesticate intuition. You learn how to take your instincts, make them super conscious, and then intuition is available to you. And then instead of autistically rocking to the sound of your own om and living an isolated life where you're not in touch, yoga is the relationship with the West. You put yourself out there and you make connections, you network. And then you realize that it's really hard to say what is the meaning of life, but it's not really hard to say I have a full experience of being alive. That's by investing yourself, putting that out the one with all the juice behind it. And then you discover by doing that the ancient spiritual quest for truth and the modern search for identity are one and the same. And when you realize that, and you can recover the language from religious terminology, then everything in life can be used. There isn't anything you can't use as grist for the mill of your own spiritual awakening. You can refuse the call if you want to, like Jonah, but of course, in the story, the ship gets wrecked, a whale or something swallows him and spits him out on the beach, and he realizes you can't run from the voice of the Lord, so to speak. You got to lay the word on the people. If you don't do that, you live a life in the wasteland, inauthentically, doing what other people told you should be doing instead of listening to your own voice. So that means you have to go your own way. I always talk about the Grail Knights. In their quest to see the Grail, they went to the forest, but deemed it would be dishonorable to enter as a group. So each one went where there was no way or path, and it was the darkest. It's the beginning of the Western civilization's mindset of individual importance. Find your own way. If it's a path that's already there, it's somebody else's way. You got to do what's never been seen on land, air, or sea before. And if you do that, you will bloom in a certain way, and you'll start to recognize other people and their beauty. Right? The beauty of intelligence is that everybody's smart in a different way. So you'll start to admire other people, recognize other people, bless other people, mirror other people, instead of having it set up so that they're mirroring, blessing, recognizing, and admiring you. And then you'll understand that happiness is not within the field of self-consciousness. Just put yourself out there. Don't have rear-view mirrors looking back, seeing how well you're doing. Make a deposit in your happiness bank account, and then you'll see whether or not happiness is something that's made up of a good life lived. Now, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, tell friends about it. Don't forget, as of today, I know it's a little late to start, but I'm not going to forget, Good Vibrations Yoga. We have a class coming up at 11 o'clock, and then the next 2 weeks after that, and 2 weeks after that, we'll continue with the theme for these 3 classes, Honor the Past, animate the present and imagine the future. I hope you can join us. You go to my website and you'll see a link there. And also there's images on the website for a teacher training coming up, a workshop I'm doing in July, and other future things for Flourish, my Dharma talks going on every other Thursday. Hope you can join us. If not, just keep making a deposit in your happiness bank account.